Deep in the rainforests of Central America, towering stone pyramids rise above the jungle canopy, revealing the remains of one of the most advanced civilizations of the ancient world, the Maya. For centuries, they built powerful cities, studied the stars with remarkable precision, and developed sophisticated systems of writing, mathematics, and engineering. Yet by the 9th century, many of these cities were mysteriously abandoned, leaving historians to ask what caused the fall of such an extraordinary civilization. To answer that question, we must travel back more than 4,000 years to the early beginnings of the Maya world. Around 2000 BCE, small communities began forming across a vast region that today includes southern Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, Honduras, and El Salvador. Unlike civilizations that grew along major rivers such as the Nile or the Tigris, the Maya developed in landscapes that were far less predictable. Dense forests, limestone plains, and seasonal rainfall shaped daily life. Survival in this environment required creativity and resilience, and the Maya gradually developed both. Over time, these communities learned to adapt to the difficult landscape. Farmers cultivated maize, beans, squash, and cacao, crops that became the foundation of Maya agriculture. They created farming techniques that allowed them to grow food even in regions with thin soil and uncertain weather. By carefully managing land and water resources, the Maya supported growing populations. Small villages slowly transformed into more organized societies, connected through trade and shared traditions. By around 250 CE, the Maya civilization entered what historians call the Classic period. During this era, the landscape began to change dramatically. Massive stone pyramids were built, ceremonial plazas appeared, and royal palaces dominated city centers. Cities such as Tikal, Calakmul, Copan, Palenque, and Paracal became powerful political and cultural capitals. These cities were independent city-states, each ruled by its own king and ruling dynasty. Although they shared language and culture, they often competed for influence. At the heart of Maya society was a powerful belief system. The Maya believed the universe was divided into several layers: the heavens above, the human world, and an underworld called Xibalba. Maintaining balance between these realms was considered essential for life. Maya rulers claimed to help maintain this balance. Kings were seen not only as political leaders, but also as spiritual intermediaries who could communicate with gods and ancestors. To reinforce their authority, rulers performed elaborate rituals and ceremonies. One of the most dramatic practices was bloodletting, in which kings and queens offered their own blood as a sacred sacrifice. These rituals were believed to ensure prosperity, rainfall, and agricultural success. Monumental architecture also served political purposes. Stone monuments called stelae recorded royal victories and major events, using hieroglyphic writing, preserving the history of Maya rulers for generations. One of the most remarkable aspects of Maya civilization was its scientific knowledge. The Maya created one of the most advanced calendar systems in the ancient world. They used several interconnected calendars, including the Tzolk'in ritual calendar, the Hobbs solar calendar, and the long count system for recording historical dates. Their mathematicians used a base 20 number system and were among the earliest civilizations known to use the concept of zero. The Maya were also skilled astronomers. They carefully observed celestial bodies such as the sun, moon, and the planet Venus. These observations were important not only scientifically, but also religiously and politically. Temples and pyramids were often aligned with astronomical events such as solstices and equinoxes. Their understanding of the sky influenced ceremonies and reinforced the authority of rulers. Despite these achievements, the Maya world was never completely stable. Because each city-state operated independently, competition between them was common. Alliances frequently changed, and warfare became an important part of Maya politics. Early conflicts often focused on capturing elite prisoners rather than destroying cities. However, over time, warfare became more intense and destructive. One of the most famous rivalries occurred between the cities of Tikal and Calakmul. These two powerful centers competed for dominance across the Maya region for generations. Smaller cities were drawn into their alliances and conflicts. As wars intensified, resources were drained and regional stability weakened. This growing instability later contributed to the decline of Maya civilization. While political rivalry created tension, the greatest challenge facing the Maya came from the environment. Agriculture was the foundation of Maya society, and feeding large populations required significant land and resources. Forests were cleared for farming and construction. Trees were also burned to produce lime plaster used to coat buildings and temples. Over time, widespread deforestation began to reshape the landscape. The removal of forests had serious consequences. Trees help regulate soil moisture and recycle water into the atmosphere. As forests disappeared, soil erosion increased and rainfall patterns became less stable. These environmental changes gradually weakened the agricultural systems supporting Maya cities. For centuries, the Maya adapted successfully, but by the late 8th century, signs of crisis appeared. Monument construction slowed, and new inscriptions became less common. Evidence of warfare increased across several regions. Archaeologists have also found signs of overcrowding, malnutrition, and social unrest in certain Maya cities. The balance between population, environment, and political power was beginning to weaken. Modern scientific research has revealed an important factor behind this crisis: climate change. Studies of lake sediments and cave formations show that between about 800 and 1000 CE, the Maya region experienced several prolonged droughts. These droughts lasted for decades and reduced rainfall dramatically. For a civilization dependent on seasonal rain, the consequences were severe. Without reliable rainfall, crops failed and water supplies declined. Food shortages spread and populations struggled to survive. However, drought alone does not fully explain the collapse. The Maya had survived dry periods before. What made this time different was the combination of environmental stress, political conflict, and population pressure. As drought intensified, Maya rulers faced growing challenges to their authority. Kings had long claimed that their rituals ensured rainfall and prosperity. But when drought continued year after year, their claims lost credibility. If rulers truly communicated with the gods, many people wondered why the rains were not returning. In some regions, this loss of confidence may have led to rebellion. Archaeological evidence suggests that certain royal palaces were destroyed or abandoned. At the same time, warfare between cities increased as populations competed for fertile land and reliable water sources. Trade networks also began to weaken. Goods that once traveled long distances became harder to obtain. Without stable trade and agriculture, urban life became increasingly difficult. Gradually, many people began leaving cities in search of better conditions. By around 900 CE, many major Maya cities of the southern lowlands had been abandoned. Construction stopped, royal dynasties ended, and ceremonial centers fell silent. Over time, the jungle slowly reclaimed temples and plazas that once symbolized Maya power. For centuries, explorers who rediscovered these ruins believed the Maya civilization had vanished completely. Modern research, however, has revealed a different story. The Maya people did not disappear. Many communities migrated to new regions, especially the northern Yucatan Peninsula. Cities such as Chichen Itza later became important cultural centers. Today, the descendants of the Maya still live across Mexico and Central America. Millions of people speak Maya languages and maintain traditions that date back thousands of years. The civilization did not vanish, it adapted and transformed over time. In recent years, new technology has expanded our understanding of the Maya world. One of the most important tools is LiDAR,
a laser-based mapping system that can detect structures hidden beneath dense forests. LiDAR surveys have revealed thousands of previously unknown Maya buildings, roads, terraces, and defensive walls. These discoveries show that Maya populations were far larger and interconnected than previously believed. They also help explain why the collapse was so dramatic. Large populations require complex systems for agriculture, water management, and political coordination.
If you enjoyed this journey into the rise and fall of one of history's greatest civilizations, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more documentaries about ancient wars, lost empires, and the discoveries that shaped our world. History is full of incredible stories, and we have only just begun to explore them.